Blood Apricot Spring. Chapter 1 The scorching branches are like fire. When Lin Luanzi was born, the apricot forest 30 miles south of the city burned for 7 days and 7 nights, and the sky was not raining but blood-red petals. The Lin family only took it as a joke, until she was 3 years old and burned so much that she couldn't speak, coughed up blood at the age of 5, and couldn't stand for a long time at the age of 8. Her parents woke up like a dream and asked all the famous doctors, but no one could cure her of the fire that hit her. At the age of 14, the Lin family recruited a son-in-law in order to extend the incense, and the boy was called Jian Qunyu, from a lonely and poor family in a small country in northern Xinjiang, with snowy skin and eyes like iron, and his temperament was so cold that the whole Lin mansion felt unlucky, but he was extremely obedient and hard-working, and most importantly, Lin Luanzi was pregnant with a child in less than March. She was only 15 that year, lying on the couch coughing up blood day and night, just because of her weakness and almost slipping the tire. Master Lin was so angry that he rushed to the next room, and he didn't let the husband and wife meet for a year. When she was 16 years old, she gave birth to her daughter Lin Ruoqi. This child is extremely handsome, born with a fragrant sound, and the whole house said that this was a turning point in her life, but Lin Luanzi knew in her heart that the turning point was not hers, it was the Lin family. At the age of 17, she wrote a letter to Jian Qunyu, "You can go." Jian did not reply to the letter, leaving only a hand-drawn copy of Southern Xinjiang Baikoji, and her name was depicted in her blood on the back cover. On the night of her 20th birthday, Lin Luanzi fell silently in front of the mirror, and everyone thought she was finally gone, only she knew that she was still alive, but woke up in a different place. It's a place called Flame. Chapter 2 The City of Sleepless Flames. Liyan is a sleepless city at the junction of 4 realms. No one in the city is a human. All creatures of all races, half demon, half ghost, and half soul, have their own thoughts. Lin Luanzi became what the city lord calls a soul breaker, who can enter and exit the 3 realms and was born with a body of 3 lives. Her first life is Lin Luanzi, her second life is Yun Lujiao, and her third life has not woken up yet. In Lian, she met the Night Clan leader of the third domain, Xi Yanzhu, who was violent by nature but extremely gentle to her, saying that her life was not fired, but sealed. "If you allow me to call you Luanzi, I will take my life and bloom again for you." She didn't believe in fate, but the ghost sent the god to agree to him, and that night she saw her previous life. It turned out that she was the goddess of destruction 3,000 years ago Yun Lujiao, who was punished by heaven for defending Lechuan to the death, and was reincarnated as Lin Luanzi in the world. And Qi Qunyu, his real name is Jiao Qing Huang, and he is the left general of the Protoss who betrayed her in that god war. She fled back to the present world, to the moment when she had not yet fallen to the ground. Chapter 3 Dead Branches and Flowers. The timeline was broken, and she found that Lin Ruoqi was also one of the 3 souls, and Jian Qunyu had reascended the throne in the northern country and became the lord of Yanzhou, and sent troops south to recapture her and Lin Ruoqi. The Lin family was terrified and locked her up in the ancestral home, not allowing her to go out. However, Lin Luanzi knew that she could no longer be manipulated by others, so she made a soul contract with Xi Yanzhu of the Ye clan, used the power of 3 lives to revive Yun Luoluo's fighting spirit, and embarked on the road to regain her life and freedom. She's not anyone's chess, she's the player. When the Yanzhou army pressed the border, she led the Night Clan army to break through from the Mirror Cold Pass, and when the 2 sides confronted each other, Qi Qian did not want her to stop, but knelt on the battlefield and offered her heart to beg her for forgiveness. "I beg you to live again with 1,000 years of memory." But she asked softly, "Do you remember what you wrote on the back cover that year?" He was stunned. "You say, my name is Luanji, not your fire." She turned and walked into the fog and snow, and the flames of war engulfed the territory, and the snow continued to darken. Chapter 4 The Name is Not Fateful. Later, Lin Ruoqi grew up to be the strongest soul master in southern Xinjiang and inherited one of his mother's 3 souls. He retired from the martial arts world after a battle, and people only remembered that he was crazy for love and betrayed his country. Xi Yanzhu succeeded to the throne of Liyan and released flowers for 3 days and 3 nights every spring, which was called the Cinder Flower Festival. Legend has it that at the last burnt flower festival, a woman in white was seen walking through the apricot forest with a red umbrella, and no one dared to ask her name, only she said with a smile, "I don't cough up blood anymore." Volume 2 1,000 Lives Return. Chapter 1 The Broken Horned Deer. After the Battle of Jinghan, he lived in seclusion in the secluded forest on the north bank of the Lechuan River, no longer calling himself the Lord of Yanzhou, and everyone called him the Broken Horned Deer Man. The legend says that only the divine beast that let go of power and obsession will fold its horns and hide its hooves and escape into the world. He carved puppets by the river every day, and each puppet was a face, with a baby crying, a girl smiling, and an old woman crying, all of which were in his memory. One day, the wind of the 4 regions blew in the secluded forest, and there was a baby's cry in the wind, but it was like a spell lingering. He was shocked to realize that some of the souls belonging to Luanji's empty life had not returned to their places, but had been sealed in the sound abyss in the east corner. It was a forbidden place that even gods could not set foot in. He puts on his armor again and embarks on a journey to recover her last soul. Only this time, he didn't want to be forgiven, but to make her whole, even if he never saw her again. At the same time, Lin Ruoqi in southern Xinjiang was also 19 years old and became the first soul envoy of Lion. She is cold, precise, and never makes mistakes, and is known as General Fengzi. In her dreams, she often saw a burning wasteland, and in the wasteland, a child cried to her and called her mother. At first she didn't believe it, but then the dream repeated itself again and again, and she began to wonder if her past memories had been rewritten. Why had her mother never talked about it? Why does she always feel that there is a second voice hidden in her body? One night, she sneaked into her mother's study and found a broken old book, in which a woman with almost the same face as her was depicted, but her name was not Lin Ruoqi, but Xian Xian. She flipped to the last page and wrote, "One of my souls is hidden in the body of Xi Xian. This girl is not my own, but she is of the same blood as me. If you see her, don't be frightened. She will not fight for her life, but only protect mine." Lin Ruoqi was shocked. She is not Lin Luanzi's biological child, but the shell on which the third soul rests. After that, she dreamed of echoing whispers every night, as if countless sealed souls were crying, and she decided to set foot in the east corner to find out the truth. At this point, Qian Qian and Lin Ruoqi walked towards the abyss, and the river of fate once again met in the most dangerous place in the world. Chapter 2, The God in the Mirror. The Sound Abyss is the place where the primordial mirror god Gongju was sealed, and it is said that he can rewrite his fate and create thousands of mirrors. Lin Luanzi's third soul was imprisoned by the mirror god's remnant mind in exchange for a chance to be reincarnated. Ping Qian met Lin Ruoqi at the edge of the abyss. "Are you Lin Ruoqi?" Qi Qian asked in a low voice. She stared at him for a long time and said, "No, I'm Xian Xian." When the mirror god appeared, it turned into countless feather mirrors, reflecting the deepest desire in the hearts of the two. Qi Qian didn't see the picture of the first time he met Luanzi, while Xian Xian saw the moment when Lin Luanzi took her out of the fire. It turned out that during the Burning Flower Festival, Lin Luanzi was not resurrected, but burned out his soul power and brought Xian Xian out of the mirror. He stayed in that fiery world and became Gongju's offering. If you want to lift the lockdown, you must have someone who is willing to give all your memories and names and never be remembered by the world. Qian Qianwu and Xian Xian took a step forward almost at the same time. The mirror spirit roared, "Both of them are fine. I will choose the one with the strongest obsession." At that moment, Jing Yu chose to move nothing. He forgot himself and became the guardian of the mirror abyss, sleeping instead of Luanji, while Xian Xian returned to the present world with the complete three souls. Since then, there is no more migration in the world, only there is an unknown stone statue in the secluded forest, and every year when the apricot forest falls in the snow, a blood-colored flower will bloom. And Lin Luanzi has woken up from the mirror. Chapter 3, Three Souls Become One. Lin Luanzi was reborn on the throne of Li Yan. Xi Yanzhou of the Ye clan had been waiting for her for 3 years. "Did you say you wouldn't cough up blood anymore, and now you're sad anymore?" She chuckled. Sadness is not because of life, but because of remembering. She is no longer anyone's original partner, whose wife is a passerby. She is Luanji, Yun Lujiao, Xian Xian's mother, and the master of the three souls. From then on, she took on the new name Jin Jinyun and ruled the three realms of Li and Yan together with Xi Yanzhou, thus opening the prologue to 10,000 years of peace. Lin Ruoqi succeeded to the throne as the chief general of southern Xinjiang. Although she had no blood relationship with him, her soul was inherited from him, and she was respected by the people as the Queen Jijin. Xi Jianwu Jiao Qing Huang, forever in the mirror world. Someone said that if you make a wish in front of the mirror, you can hear him whisper, "I hope you will no longer turn into ashes for anyone else." And the sound echoes above the abyss. The apricot blossoms bloom every year, the petals are like ashes.